spring morning here in central Ohio. Apparently, Sean Ireland did not watch the forecast this morning and is surprised by how cold it is.
Guys, make that up.
So it's cold out here this morning. Even so, it is spring. It is time to think about what to do with your lawn. Nick Trussell is here to talk a little bit about how to make it all happen. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Let's start with, what are we going to do? Getting the lawn green?
Getting the lawn green, getting the mower ready.
Getting the mower ready.
Look at the equipment right now. Number one thing is look at your safety features.
Okay.
You've got covers on the deck down here that are going to cover your belts. Make sure these bolts are tight, things like that.
Yeah.
While we're on the deck, we need the blades to be sharp. That's going to be best for us when we start cutting the grass.
Now, if you're on a riding mower like this, take it somewhere, right?
Well, you can take it somewhere, or you can pop the blade off. You can have a spare blade.
Okay.
Bring one in, get it sharpened, switch them out.
Put the sharp one on. Okay.
The other thing you want to do is make sure there's not a lot of grass cluttered up underneath.
That caked
Cuts
up
down
stuff.
airflow. It also creates rust and corrosion on the deck.
Okay.
So scrape the deck clean. These decks are real easy to take off. Most people that own them know how to do it. Take the deck off, flip it upside down, scrape it with a paint scraper.
And what do you have going on here?
That is a moto mix. We talk about fuel a lot these days. The fuel has a lot of ethanol in it that we're putting in both of our handheld equipment and our riding equipment.
Okay.
It's what causes your fuel to go stale, gum up carburetors, things like that. If you get into some of the smaller equipment, this is a pre-mixed fuel with zero ethanol. Has almost an unlimited shelf life. It's a couple years, things like that. But you don't need to do it. So if you're only using that string trimmer a couple times a year, use this. It can stay in the fuel tank all year and not gumming up.
So when we go to the gas station and we get one of those big 5-gallon bucket what's-its and you fill that up, and that's what we're using to power everything, you're saying that's only good for how long?
30 days.
Really?
2 months most. So you've got almost 10% ethanol in that. That ethanol is going to gum up. It's going to cause you starting issues. You leave it in a can, it can go stale as well. If you want real clean fuel, a lot of times go to a marina. Marinas have 0% ethanol.
How many times have you seen one of those cans sit in the garage? Not just this summer, but all the way through the winter into next spring.
So what do we do? Where do you dispose of that if you've got old fuel?
You can bring it into equipment dealerships, auto places, things like that. Yeah, they'll dump it.
Okay.
Usually we have something we can dump all that in and we get it pumped out.
That's good
on a regular basis.
What else did you bring us? Show us.
All kinds of stuff. We start getting into the lawn right now. One of the big things, if you look around, you've got leaves, you've got sticks. We can do it the old-fashioned way with the rake, which is fine.
Yeah.
It does that well. If you like blowers, using that instead. This one, you can even hold it. Very, very lightweight.
Okay.
It's actually a battery. It's a battery power.
Is it on?
It's not on.
Oh.
No. But it's a battery-powered unit, so it's a little bit lighter.
This is really light.
Wow.
If you don't want to carry that around in your hand using another blower, you can go with a smaller backpack blower.
Wow.
Only a couple pounds as well.
Is this the same kind of power out of each of them?
It is. This one's a little bit more. Backpack blowers are going to be a little stronger.
Okay.
You can use that, dethatch the yard.
So we're going to green everything up, though. That's part of what we need to do. What this time of year can we actually do?
Exactly.
Fertilizer. You can put the first round of fertilizer. You'll see the big companies out there doing that. Get your pre-emergent down. It's going to prevent that crabgrass from coming up.
Yeah.
It's also got fertilizer in it.
And it's not too early for that.
No. Right now it's time to do it. It can stay in there for up to 6 weeks.
Can you do it yourself if you've got a huge yard? Because I have a huge yard and I don't know if I could do that.
You can. I know how to do it myself. I still hire someone to do the fertilizing.
Okay.
I don't have to store the fertilizer. I don't have to worry about spilling it.
Good point.
Right.
I don't have to have kids around the fertilizer.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive,
It's
but
not.
you can get a little push spreader. Pay attention to the calibration.
Yeah, she's got a big yard.
She left on Saturday. We haven't seen her since.
So we were talking earlier in the break a little bit about some of these like grasses, because it's time to start thinking about the beds out here too.
Absolutely.
So what about these? I mean, if they're not already trimmed down, is it too late for that?
No, right now is a great time to do it. You can do it in the fall or the spring. A lot of people do it in the fall because they don't want them flapping around and being messy all winter.
Right.
But if you have limited plant material in your beds and you don't want that complete barren look all winter long, you can leave them tall. Cut those now. You've got other color coming up in the springtime.
And you'll have some nice green to start with, and then
they'll come right up. You can even split them. You can spread them around the yard. Just cut a little chunk out of it, dig it up, and move it to another spot.
Is it time to split hostas? Later in the fall.
I would wait a little bit, but you can do it in spring.
What about mulching? Too early for mulch?
No. And you can see right here, they've already started on the bed edge.
Yeah.
You can get in here with a conventional spade and do that. We've also got tools. We've got one over there. I can show you when we walk back over by the mower. That can cut this edge on it. Now's a good time to edge it. It's still a little soft.
Right.
It's a little wet. Get the edge going. You can get the mulch going, put some pre-emergent down underneath that as well. Sprinkle it on it to keep those weeds from popping up.
That's fantastic. You know, it's cold enough. We don't really think about it right now.
I can't think about anything.
I was raking the yard all day yesterday. It's time.
She's very cold. She's very cold.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
Let's go build a snowman, shall we?
There we go.
We might be able to by the end of the week.
Oh,
Anyway,
no.
let's get you some information. Go to gooddaycolumbus.com and we'll get you all hooked up with all the information you need to know so that you can find out what's going on out at GD Equipment.
That's right. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.